Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are on page 117 of your student journal, page 117. And our objective for the day is today I will solve one step subtraction word problems. And I know they always make us squish our words. Subtraction word problems with regrouping and an unknown result. Okay, I'll give you a second to write that. But today I will solve one step. One step means that we're just going to do one operation. And because they tell us it's subtraction, we know we're going to do one subtraction problem. They're word problems, so story problems. With regrouping, remember regrouping is when we're going to have to go to the place value above us and we're going to have to decompose that number and regroup it. Okay, and then we have an unknown result. So an unknown result would be an answer. So let's look at some of our vocabulary today. Okay, the first thing that we have is our clue operation words. So it says terms that help you decide which operation to use to solve a word problem. Okay, so we know that today it says that we're going to be solving subtraction word problems, but these are words that will help us find them. So less than, reduced by, minus, difference, fewer than, or how many fewer, how many more, how many were left, how much change. So all of these are clue operation words that tell us that we're going to subtract. Okay, then we have result unknown. So it says the difference is not known. So here we have our equation, 34 subtract 12, but the result is unknown. Okay, so that's what it told us in our objective for the day. We're going to have an unknown result. And then we have this tape diagram at the bottom. And this is what we're going to use to kind of just understand our problem. It says, a diagram that looks like a segment of tape used to show the relationship between numbers. So this top is the whole. This is our whole. And this is our part. And our part. So once we understand this is really neat because this will show us that we know that our part plus our part has to equal our whole. Or we know our whole take away one part has to give us our other part. Okay, so this is what we use to help this. So if I looked at this, I could say 12 plus my part has to equal my whole. So my two parts, have to equal my whole, or I know that my whole take away one of my parts has to equal the other part. And because today we're going to be doing subtraction, this is the one that we're going to be using, boys and girls. We're going to say that the whole take away one of the parts has to equal our other part. Okay, so let's look at our steps. It says we're going to read the problem, identify any operation clue words, and I'm not only going to identify them, but I'm going to underline them. Then we're going to use a tape diagram to identify the whole and to identify the parts. We're going to write an equation to represent the tape diagram. And then we're going to solve for the unknown using any previously learned strategy. So any strategy that we know how to use. I really like the draw a picture strategy and the place value strategy, so that's probably what you'll see me use. Okay, so boys and girls, I'm going to get started on my examples. So I'm going to grab my red pen, and if you want to just watch. Here is my first problem. My first problem says, there were 32 balls on the playground. Room 5 picked up 24 of the balls. How many balls were left on the playground? Okay, so when I see how many balls were left, to me, I know automatically that that's one of my clue words, one of my clue underline that as one of my operation clue words. Okay, then it says I'm going to use a tape diagram to identify the parts. Let me re-underline this. My red pens are not very good right now. Okay, so I know, oh, boys and girls, I'm going through lots of red pens trying to find a good one. Okay, I know that there were 32 balls on the playground. So that is how many there were. That's my whole. So there were 32 balls on the playground. And it said right here, that's how many I had. Now here they try and kind of trick me by saying room 5, but this isn't an actual word. This is just saying that's part of room 5. So don't let that trick you. That's tricky. Room 5 picked up 24 of the balls. So out of 32, room 5 picked up 24. How many were left is right here. So I know that if I take the whole and I subtract the one part, I'm going to end up with the other part. Okay, so this is step 3 when it says use a tape diagram, and step 4 says write my equation, which is whole, take away one part equals the other part. So now I have to choose how do I want to solve. Well, I really like the draw a picture strategy, so I'm probably going to use that strategy. So if I have 32, I have a ones column and a tens column. And I'm going to write over here my ones and tens. And I can put here ones and tens. So for draw a picture strategy, remember I draw what I have. So I have 3 tens. 1, 2, 3, and I have 2 ones. Okay, so that's what I have. They want me to take away this. Now remember, when I take away, I always start with the ones column. So they want me to take away or subtract 4 ones. Am I going to be able to do that? No, not at all. So I need to regroup. I need to take this one, and I need, instead of having a 10, I need to have 10 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my regrouping. Okay, so now can I take away 4 ones? Sure, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. And they also want me to take away 2 tens. 1, 2. That one I already regrouped, so I couldn't take it away. So what do I have left? Over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ones. And I have no tens left. So my answer is 8. Okay, let's look at my next problem. On Monday, there were 45 hats on the shelf. The store sold 29 hats that day. How many hats does the store have on the shelf now? Okay, so I would say that we have how many hats does the store have on the shelf now? Now is kind of my clue operation word. Even though it's not on my list, it's not on this list, the fact that they're asking how many are now does tell me that there were some and some were taken away and how many are left, which would be a subtraction word. Okay, so I'm going to make my tape diagram. So there were 45 on Monday. The store sold 29, so that's one part of the 45, and there's some left on the shelf. So this is how many there were, my whole. 29 got taken off the shelf and sold, and then these are left on the shelf. So my whole, take away one part, will equal the other part. Okay, I think for this one, I'm going to use the strategy of place value. So let's use our place value strategy. Okay, so in my place value strategy, I do it a little different. I have my ones and tens, my ones, tens, my ones and tens. But in this one, I'm going to write both of them. So I have 4 tens, which is 40, and 5 ones. And they want me to take away, and I should have drawn it a little bit different, 2 10s, which is 20, and 9 ones. Okay, and then we'll have our answer spot. So remember, no matter what strategy I use, I always start with the ones column. No matter what strategy, I always start with the ones column. Okay, so when I start with the ones column, okay, what do I have here? I have 5 ones, take away 9 ones. Is that going to be possible? Not at all. That's not possible. So I need to take 10 away from here. So if I take 10 away from there, I'm left with 30. And if I bring the 10 over here, I have 5 plus 10 is 15. So now I have 15 ones, take away 9 ones is 6 ones. 30 take away 20 is 10. So 10 plus 6 is 16. So that was using the place value strategy. Okay, so boys and girls, let's do some of these together. Okay, so we are on page 118 together, and here's our first problem. Okay, our first problem says, Suzanne had $96. She spent $17 on a new necklace. How much money does she have now? So how much money does she have now? Mainly now is our key word there, now. Okay, so our tape diagram would be her whole was 96. That's how much she had. One of the parts is what she spent, and the other part is what she still has now. So if we do 96, the whole, take away one part, we will have the other part. So that is our equation. Okay, so let's use the place value strategy on this one. Okay, so ready? I'm gonna draw a large box. We're gonna draw, we only need 1s and 10s because we don't have any hundreds. So 1s and 10s. And we can put 1s and 10s on ours. Okay, so for the place value strategy, we're gonna write them. Now, I wrote up here last time, I probably should have left space. So I have 9 10s, I'm gonna put it more here and leave some space on top. 9 10s and 6 1s. And I'm gonna take away 1 10, which is 10, and 7 1s. Okay, so that's our equation. Now remember, we always start in the ones column. So ready? 6 1s, take away 7 1s. I can't do that. I can't take something larger away from something smaller. So I'm going to take 10 of these away because it's the 10s column. I have to take 10 at a time. So if I take 10 from 90, I'm going to be left with 80. And if I add 10 here, 6 plus 10 is 16. So now we can say 16, take away 7. Well, I could count up if I need to. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I got 9. And then 80, take away 10 would be 70. So our difference is 79. Okay, now if you need to stop the video to make sure you have this down, please do that, okay? All right, let's look at our next problem. A waitress had 57 customers. If 29 left, how many customers would the waitress still have? Okay, so some left, that's our key word there, some left. Okay, so let's do our tape diagram. So there were 57 was our whole. 29 left, and there's still some there. So here's our whole, 29's one part, and then who are left are the other part. Okay, so our equation is 57 take away 29 equals, I don't know. So our whole take away one part equals the other part. Okay, let's use our draw a picture strategy for this. Okay, ready? So we have our 1s and our 10s, and we have our answer area. Okay, so remember, for draw a picture, I only draw what I have. Okay, so I have 5 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 7 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and what do they want us to do? They want us to take away 2 10s and 9 1s, but I always start in the 1s column. So they want me to take away 9 1s. Are we going to have enough? No. So we need to regroup. Let's take that 10 away and let's put it over here. So instead of 1 10, let's make 10 1s. So we regrouped a 10 into 10 1s. So now I have lots of 1s, and now I can take away 9 1s. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, they also want me to take away 2 10s. So let's take away 2 10s. Okay, and what do we have left? We have 2 10s left, 2 10s left. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1s. So our answer is 28. Okay, so those are the 2 strategies I like best, friends. So you kind of need to decide what you like best also. But I'd like you to practice them both. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.